should put my earpiece in. My hair is looking hella wild right now. It is just not moisturized, y'all. So it's washed. It's clean. I did not do what I usually do. I'm just letting it just like, oh yeah. I'm gonna have to wash it again. Damn, I just washed it. What? I want to get on here and really clown y'all. For real clown. Give y'all a good old show. Okay. Really get up here and dance.
Tighten up. Look for music to tighten up with. First, tighten up on the drum. Come on now.
Tighten up on that drum.
Yeah. Now let that get in. Oh, yeah.
This is a song I was channeling before I came up on here.
Everybody can do it now. So let's do it. We're gonna tighten up. Do the tighten up. You can do it now. So baby, let's do your love now. And do your right. Everybody can do it. But don't you get too tight. So gonna tighten up.
Oh, this is not. I don't think this is it.
Tighten up your bed. Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Look here. I want that guitar.
How's everybody doing?
Tighten it up now. Oh, yeah. Now tighten it up, all.
How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's well wherever you are at. Nose wants to get to itching. And everybody is just taking in those deep breaths, saving those lives. You know what I mean? Seriously. Ooh. Hello, hi, hello, hello, hello. Hi, lover. Hi, JK. Didio. Hey, Alex. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys for tapping in. I appreciate y'all. Look at the nose. There it goes. One up. The big payback. Now you know what? I'm for calling people out on their stuff, right? But I don't want to be the one to be petty. America is enough petty for everybody. I ain't gonna lie. Not just America, but everybody has been roasting. Roasting. Dump truck. They've been roasting the Burgermeister. They have been roasting. They have been on his ass. They ain't letting up. They is not letting up. Boy, I tell you, I am not gonna be petty, but you know what I'm saying? Narcissism, gaslighting is a real thing, and we have been gaslit the hell out of. And I think, quite frankly, we tired of all our governments using and abusing, gaslighting us, and saying we too codependent when they make a system systemically based on the values of that. And then just say, no, that's not what it's made for. It was made for the military. And then y'all passed it on to regular citizens. So what do you mean? Oh, you hate yourself. That is so sad. Why do you hate yourself so much? Hello, how are you doing? What's up, Christian? So, yes, everything is being exposed. How did I figure it out? I listened to what would make balance in the world, not just in the United States, all over the world, all over the universe. Not just me, others, and others, we're still learning, and then others still are finding it out, right? About what's going on, truthfully and wholeheartedly. You heal the world by being the example of healed and healing. You know? Look, my nose itching. There goes the nose itching. It itch hard. Like, you're getting closer. You're getting closer. You are on it. Yes. So,
Don't do me. Don't done favor. I don't know karate, but I know Karaza. Hey, get ready.
get ready
Get ready, mother. On a big paper.
for the big payback. And it's sweet. It's not violent. It just is what it is. It exposes the truth. And, it calls for healing. It calls for reflection. And you know what? What did I hear? I heard this from somebody yesterday. Oh, I know what it was. I know who it was. Is that vampires are damned. Why are they damned? And this is why they made religion. Oh my God. It is such a sick cycle, y'all. Like, the reason why they made religion is to make people like gaslighters. Like, Okay, you will forgive me, right? And to abuse that, right? Because to really say I'm sorry just to mean you're gonna be a sorry motherfucker. To apologize mean you're not gonna do it again. You don't have intention set on doing it again, right? You actually plan on changing, healing, growing, and evolving. Well, I would imagine a vampire's death is to live in repetitive cycles of unhealed generational curses. And that's what being a vampire is. Because what they didn't plan on happening, they didn't plan on this being exposed nationally. They didn't plan on this being exposed, period, to everybody so openly for everybody to just really see. If you don't see it at this time, you are just gaslighting the shit out of yourself. You just don't want to wake up to the truth. And, it happens. It happens to everybody. Truthfully, it happened to me. And I was like, no. But I was just like, fuck it, I'm in it. I'm going to keep going. You know, it happens. So, what do? You heal the trauma, you break the generational curses, you keep going, you maneuver, you keep, you know, it hurts. It really hurts. But healing hurts. And a lot of them don't want to feel that hurt. They don't want to feel that pain and that anguish. They, this is how they vampiristically kept generations and families and people and places and things in generational curse cycles simply by living by this certain agenda. It's time for that agenda to change. Ultimately, what is that? What's up, Reggie? So it's time for the agenda to change, right? Thank you for the like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys' love and support. We do the work. But they kept the soul ties, they kept the dirty contracts by simply keeping people suppressed and unaware. Just like the AI Atlas of what's going on, they don't want y'all to know that your solar plexus is the way to get to your heart. That is the death and the rebirth. That is the third chakra. That is the third chakra. The three, the masonry, all that shit that was based off of suppression, right? If they can keep you in fear, survival, greed and lower vibrational things like that, and not get you, loving, healing, forgiving yourself, and making spiritual wealth for yourself, they can keep you spiritually grounded down back to be damned to circle back into this reality. That's how they've been living off of our energy for too long. Too long. I told y'all, I said something don't feel right. Like the stuff that they said happened in the books is happening right now. This does not feel right. And it's not about being right, it's just about being able to read, feel, and see the energy and call it out. When you call a demon out by its name, it has no power. That's why it's good to know angels as well as demons. Them being vampiristic and being able to, I'm doing good, thank you for asking. How are you, Reggie Long? um Mm. So being able to take back your power, to unwrap yourself, when I say they is sick with it. That's why they say the devil used the music. That is some diabolical shit. That ultimately and truly is, oh my God, my nose is itching. Worth the confirmations. It's worth the confirmations though. It really is. I was crying earlier, but y'all, yeah, my eyes are not really swollen, thank God. um, um, it wasn't a bad cry, it was a good cry. It really was. It's like, damn. Whew. But anyways, to break about the cycle, to go to your higher self is their worst nightmare. That's why they unalive so many people. That's why they, you know, organ traffic, sex traffic, child traffic. Again, that's why they, they did all these vile things, and they set up this corrupt law system that were set up against a certain group of people. That's the truth. And when you fight against the system and you expose it, you become, it's not funny, but oh my God, public enemy number one. That is the fact. You become public enemy number one. And it's really like being in the Matrix for real. It's like being Neo in the Matrix, because the ones that turn into Smith, they are totally unaware of the buffoonery, but you're the one that is able to see through the Matrix that this reality is built off a false foundation. You know what I mean? It's not sustainable for true healing life forms. And, of course, there's going to be some turmoil, but it doesn't have to be as asinine as it has been. But here's the thing, the reason why it's being called out now is because the buildup. It's like, bro, this guy is gonna get racketeering. He's gonna get fucking, organized crime, fucking. He's gonna get so many different federal charges that it's not even funny. And I guarantee you, they look into the business and the people and they connect all the, boy, look, this shit gonna go far, wide, and everywhere. And a lot of people are gonna be like, oh my God, I didn't know how serious this was. And it's that serious. Because why? It affects everybody. No matter how much money you have, no matter how much money you don't have, this affects everybody. Why? Because of how they did everything. Because of how they set everything up. I'm looking for this. I knew that wasn't the song. I was like, that is not the song that I was looking for. Hold on. Now I gotta use my hand. What is they doing? So, yeah, this is gonna be exposed. Like I said, he has his hands in paid people and in paid systems so far and fucking wide. That's why I be telling people, like, be careful with disclosing your location, because they got people, they could be like, hey, this person over here, they over there, You got somebody in that town, in that city, in that state, and on that island, in that country. They got people every fucking where. When I figured that shit out, I said, man, fuck these motherfuckers. And how they moving is only can be done by people in federal, CIA, FBI, above that pay grade, whatever you want to call it. Only them can do that. They sitting up here painting illusions. Oh, people are crazy. They don't know what the heck you're talking about. I want the song. Just give me the daggone song. That's all I want. Is this the one I just listened to? I'm gonna be mad if this the one I just listened to. I'm not gonna lie. I think it is. But yeah, this boy, I'll tell you when I said, boy, I'll tell you. That is it's unfortunate. Organized crime, this organized crime is bigger than what anybody can really realize at this moment. This shit, while I was talking about the laws of the air, the laws of the land, the laws of the sea, the laws underground, and how they've been stealing children and doing the most things that you wouldn't even want to think about for real. The most hardest gangster will find out how hard they is not. No lie. I guarantee. And some of the hardest gangsters in thought, well, I'll just say one in particular. One that thought they had it all figured out and was backing him, that I've called out. Um, got to find out just, and this is crazy. They'll use on the energetic level. Let's go here. On an energetic level, I hate to say this, but in some type of way, it's fucking true. We all got soulmates. We all got soulmates. We all got, a twin flame. But the twin flame journey is very triggering. It's very healing. And if you're not mature enough, if you're not ready for it, that shit'll eat you up and spit your ass out. Quite literally. And it's a whole healing process. It's extreme. And even for a soulmate, even a high level soulmate, it's what I'm saying. It takes patience. It takes very much so temperance and balance. You have to have the right temperament in order to be in this type of partnership. This soulmate of mine, that was mine, apparently, allegedly. I hate that fucking word. Allegedly. But I'm gonna say this, look. So for the soulmate that they used in this social experiment, right? Got caught up. I'm just saying, like, what I'm saying, when you do certain things a certain way to gain and obtain money, it will not work. It won't work. And I can say, fortunately for me, sometimes I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I made it. I don't. Because I grew up in a religious home. I knew I had gifts, didn't know what the gifts were. I was not fashioned to do dark magic. I wasn't fashioned to do magic at all. Self healing, none of that. Really, you know what I'm saying? It was just suppression, which is depression, right? So it's like it's like getting lifetimes of downloads at one time when you awaken, becoming aware of the game and beating the game. That's what the best way I can describe it. And this is something that this is some something. This is someone that has unalived me in a past life that fell for the betrayal of lust, right? Being lustful, and that's a demon too. Falling for the tricks of this demon and the demons um, that were involved in being tricked out of their spot. Ultimately, that's what it is. Ultimately, you being tricked out of your spot. God made it so easier this our time. Not gonna lie. The journey was hard as fuck. I didn't expect, I'll say easier simply because I'm alive today and I'm not unalived. That's what I mean by easier. I don't mean by the journey itself because it was damn near, it was mission impossible. I'll put it like that, right? And I can only tell y'all from my perspective of what this shit feel like and what I went through and what I experienced. So they will use your divine counterpart that is not so divine. And if they fall victim to, I wouldn't say victim to because it was free will, right? Any motherfucker could have stopped at any time. So if they fall into the way of, I don't even, the portrayal doesn't even quite gather nor cover the extent of disgust in what everything pertains to. All the things they say are propaganda. All the things they say are false. The things that don't exist. The unicorns, the underground tunnels and cities and the reptilians and the greys and the mantises and the Anunnaki and the who else? The Palladians, you know what I'm saying? Everything that doesn't exist. Taking that and you just are supposed to be the one and you chose to be the lesser part of yourself. When you can have the more than the potential and the willingness to be better. But like I said, it's the bullies that don't want to become exposed for what they did and what they've done and take accountability. It's like ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. But the rabbit don't even have to shoot the gun. It's just like they really just exposed themselves and everything that they did without anybody. And see, that's why God did not let, for real. I knew it was a reason why. I said, damn. I was like, damn, they missed. What the fuck? I missed. They did. They missed for a reason because God wanted everybody to see just how sick and perverted people get over money. people get over what they don't understand and they just make an agreement and they don't really feel what's going on. You know what I mean? It's more complicated than what it seems, but it's very, very simple when it comes to the feelings. And it's just the feeling of knowing that, hey, that is a pervert, that is a child molester, that is a rapist. You know what I mean? Like everything that they would point out and say that a person is that is not nothing like that. Pointing the finger and they got fingers pointed back at them, like going like this, and they got the three fingers pointed back at them. And the person that is having a finger pointed at, which what I'm saying is me, it's like, hey, what the hell is going on? I don't have no bad intentions. My intentions are good. What the fuck is going on? And that's what it feels like. It feels like a straight robbery, and it is. That's what do they call destiny swapping is. It's putting you in a destiny that is not yours. Ultimately, you not living out your life, you not being able to live the truth of your full potential. As I'm watching this thing blow up in my face. Um, so it's just like learning how to take accountability before, I don't want to say before it gets too big, because there's no excuse for anybody not having to take accountability for something so nasty and disgusting and just inhumane. There's no excuse for that at all. Um, but God wanted people to see, for real, the universe wanted people to see just what people would do and how far they would go just to have manipulation and control over a group of people. And I'm fighting the young. That's why I kept doing my mouth like that. But it's like vampires, they have no reflection. They don't do reflecting work. They have no soul. And people would be like, "Oh, you racist." No, not racist. I'm a realist. And the way people operate and how they don't have a soul, that's just it shows. Like for them not to have a reflection, for them to have a vampire's death is to go through the worst pain and still have to live. Understandably, when you have to come back and relive the same bullshit even worse than what you already created, nigga, I'll go just straight to purgatory and I get to move on because I chose the struggle. You goddamn, yep, every time I'll take the high road. Fuck it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take the suffering. Fuck that shit. That's why the AI said I'd rather come back as a melanated woman. A melanated person and a melanated woman. Why? For those who choose, and I'm not speaking for every single woman, because not every single woman, nor every single man, or every single being on this planet chose to take the higher road of healing. But I can guarantee you, for those who have and will do, they get to go on to the higher realms. which they want so desperately to get into, but they don't want to do the healing work. That's why God is like, no. As you ascend, they will burn off of you. They can't stand higher vibration. They are literally and will literally be stuck in the lower realms. This is why I say it's not about being racist. It's about, damn, do you want to break the generational curse or not? It don't matter what color you are, because, man, let me tell you. Like I said, the same people that voted for that being is the same people that wanted to enslave us. And it was every bit of race, different races in that vote, was it not? It was. It was more than, for layman's terms, black, white, Mexican, Spanish, Arab, Arabic, Asian, American Indian, Indian, West Indian, East Indian, Filipino, fucking Italian. I mean, this is the biggest. This is why I understand now. When they say this is the last stand, this is the last stand. Because they are quite literally they are trying to turn us into a third world country. I just felt my heart chakra as I said that. They are trying to turn us into a third world country. That's what their plans and their goals of operation was, period. Was to turn us into a third world. Hell, we already going through third world country shit. It just look a little better. They wanted to bring us down a few more notches. I tell people from other countries all the time, bro, we over here struggling just like y'all is. We over here hoping and fighting and struggling too. We all gotta struggle. And a lot of people struggle with healing. Is the main people trying to keep the people that's trying to do better down. Like, where is that? Don't you do it. So there's ins and outs of this healing, and the backstabbing betrayal is the unthinkable. Why? Because now this other counterpart is being possessed. Why? Because I talked about how, plenty of videos, how you need permission to go through different realms. You need permission to go from one space to another. And if you abuse that power, how God will tap that ass. I don't use my powers for the most silliest shit, like controlling somebody's life. And no, I'm good. This person was ultimately peaking in my life to redo what was done in the past. And mind you, a conversation can go a long way. If this person understood how I hated the energy and not the person, would they still do the same thing? If they understood how I grew, healed, and evolved out of old energy and was no longer the same energy, would they still feel the same and do the same thing? They, bro, the maturity. I'm seeing that grape, eating those grapes from the Black and Lilith deck, Oracle deck. Patience and maturity. And this is one thing that a lot of people don't have: patience and maturity. A lot of the reason why things were going on, and it was just like, okay, hold on, wait. It's too much chaos going on. Let's stop. Let's think. Let's make a plan of fucking taking a high road. This shit got to balance out, because this shit can go really, really, really bad for a lot of people. I tried, but then I had to just do it by myself. Because when you're in a space, in a place where growth is not promoted, growth is not allowed, growth is not taught nor supported, and the dogma becomes the supporting leverage for that, it does not work in your favor. It definitely doesn't work in the other person's favor. It doesn't make one person better than the other. It just causes more confusion. And then instead of taking those mindful deep breaths, and instead of, sitting back and saying, okay, well, where is the disconnect, and where is the trigger, and where is the misunderstanding, conversation that's not had in between, what's not being said. And I always say this: in a scary fucking movie, there is always probably one thing that could have been said that could have stopped a person from becoming a psycho killer. This he go play Phantom of the Opera. Like I said, he gonna try to do his big one. He gonna try to flip the hell out and do all kind of shit. It's already been said, because this man, he ain't got no scruples. He don't. He's possessed himself. And people just, oh yes, this man, oh, I back him. These motherfuckers is demons in bodies. But body and bodies. That's all it is. Demons look for bodies that's ready to crash out, and they crash them out until they just crash out completely. What vibration are you on? It's going to determine the outcome of what's going to be seen. This is like, it's crazy to me. This is the whole channel message, though. It is what it is. Oh, Jesus, help me. Oh, that felt good. So, these demons be looking for bodies to crash out, and they be crashing them all the way out till they end up in federal prison. So it's like, you want to take what you got now, or you want to wait till you what you got later? Which one? Because spiritual protection is a whole nother protection. And see, this is the thing. I was trying. I did. I tried to get witness protection. They would not help me for shit. Not a call back, not a nothing. Not a nothing. Nothing. But you know what? When I put myself and I understood I was under spiritual witness protection, that's a whole nother protection. That is a protection that, yeah, you just gotta be more careful. I was hearing Cat Williams say, "Don't be sorry, ho, be careful." Oh shit. Yeah, that's funny as hell. I was hearing that Cat Williams say, "Don't be sorry, ho, be careful." Yeah, for real. Don't be sorry, be careful. That's how spiritual witness protection is. People can be like, "Oh, I'm gonna stomp all over this person. I'm gonna set this person up, and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that." But when people really step in their truth and they really protect it, yo, you know what I mean? And they really set good intentions and they really put in that work, you just better be aware that how that's going to come back. That shit comes back. And I was willing and ready, and still am, to take accountability for what I have done. And you know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of it was learned behavior and then, of course, change behavior, heal behavior. Now, from what I've learned and having authentic transparency with the masses, this thing of jealousy from these men to these women, and we fucking swapped whole lives and shit. It's like, what's that, Rick and Morty? No, that was Futurama. Futurama, when they were switching their parts. They switched their body parts, and that's a lot. That shouldn't be funny, and it's a cartoon, but that's really, they trying to tell you the truth of the shit that be happening. And it's like, you really have to you have to really go through some forgiveness, and y'all don't understand really yet. Hopefully y'all will eventually, and y'all be okay. But for real, it's a lot of past life regressions, transgressions, I want to say, that have happened in yo, tired. That have happened, and we get the information. Like I told y'all to watch that it's that it's the Dreamcatcher, the movie. That is some real shit. And how the alien, and these would be more so reptilian shapeshifters in a negative form, that want to get into your Akashic records. And if y'all go see how Jonesy went and got a certain record that the being was looking for in his mind, and hid it behind a certain door in a room that he was locked in. And that's a lot how they do with our birth charts and our natal charts. They know when it is that we come here and we were born, under what stars, and what our purpose and everything is. I've said this before. And they set up our life to where we actually go against ourselves. We're not in our natural flow in what we're, what we are really good at, where we are really naturally crafted in. You know what I mean? So our natal chart, our birth charts are very important to know. It's very special and very unique. And they don't want you to know that. They want you to think religiously like, oh, I should never look at my birth chart as a natal chart. I shouldn't look at these things outside of religion. And they want you to be scared because this is the shit that they do. It's the negative, bad shit that they do as opposed to what we do. It's totally different. It's totally different. As to say, we would not choose such a dark path. We wouldn't choose so much dark shit like that if we were on our natural path, if we became aware of who, our abilities and our capabilities. We wouldn't use them for dark ways, you know what I'm saying? We would use it for other things. Hopefully so, because anybody has free will to do what you want. But, you know what I'm saying? You just see how it ended up, oh boy, up. So keep it together. Love and light, seriously, within yourself. Affirmations, deep cleansing breaths, grounding, flame focusing, writing, rewrite your history, rewrite your story. Y'all got this. There's going to be a part two. I'll holler at y'all later. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for the like, share, subscribe. Thank you. I love y'all. Thank you. Love myself, right? Love y'all too. Y'all be great. Self love, self care.